Do you believe we have free will? In other words, we can create our own destiny? I don't think so anymore, and I'll tell you why. After 40 odd years of research, listening to clairvoyants, mediums, spiritualists, remote viewers, and my own personal experience, we're using Ouija boards, asking future questions, we get back an answer. Now, that answer is then caveated normally with, oh, well, that's one of an infinite possibilities that might happen in the future. Now, these are normally given to us by spirits. So it's like me saying that one day you're going to be a superhero or you're going to be hit by a bus. You can't just choose one thing out of infinite because it just doesn't make sense. In other words, that one infinite thing that they've just pointed out is probably going to be the true answer, which means there is no free will because it's already been destined. You can't just say, oh, that's one of many possibilities, because why even say it? Why even give us one answer? Just following on from my last video about why I don't think we really have free will. I think at one point there was a me and a you that went round once, and so the whole universe went round and came to a conclusion, and now it's repeating itself. In other words, it's just continuously repeating, or there is no beginning and end, in which case, as spirits can do, they can move forward and backwards in time. Now, if that's the case, then we've already done all this once before, and now we're just on a loop. So I'm now sitting here doing this video when I probably did it the very first time, which is kind of weird, because obviously if the very first time there was no before that, in which case how could I be talking about? So I think there's a limit to the extent of what we can change in our future. In other words, our future's preset because of what I said in the last video, but I think individually we can change minor things. I hope this video will prove that the Anunnaki aliens exist and that the governments were fully aware of it, certainly in 1977 when they launched the Voyager probe. Now, the probe went up into space and had a record on it that would show different languages, including Sumerian. Now, Sumerian is a dead language. It hasn't been used since at least the 1st century AD. So if someone can tell me why the government would have put a Sumerian word or language on there when we don't even use it anymore. The only reason why they would do that is because the Anunnaki might have intercepted the Voyager craft and read it and understood it. And they've even got an audio clip of what the words sound like. So someone tell me why they would have put Sumerian on there if it wasn't for the Anunnaki. Hear me out and then tell me your thoughts after. So the Voyager spacecrafts in the late 70s were designed to collect information from Jupiter and Saturn. So we know between us and Jupiter and Saturn there's no aliens, is there? So why put images, music, sounds and greetings on a gold disc if there's no aliens? Clearly this was designed to talk to aliens down the line. Now, in my opinion, it was targeted to go to the planet Nibiru or past Nibiru, where the Anunnaki, which was their race name was Elohim, was to intercept it and read the greetings. Now, there's 55 different languages on there. One of them is the Sumerian language, which is the Elohim's language, which is the Anunnaki's language, which is an alien language. Now, there's no derivatives of Sumerian, so it's a dead language. There's no reason whatsoever to have put that on there. So clearly it wasn't designed for Jupiter and Saturn. For those of you that are interested in our true history, I have done a translation reading from the Atrahasis. It's on my Patreon page. It's, I think, about an hour long. And I read through the translation and I explain where different things are and who are what and what not. Whereas, obviously, if you just read it and you may not know half the things that I know, you might think, who's this person and who's that person? So I actually break it all down for you. And this is the translation where the Anunnaki created humans. So something definitely to watch. That's on my Patreon page, which has got loads of other videos as well as live chats, etc. So do feel free to go there. It's Patreon and it's called Our True History. I can't praise this video on YouTube enough. Now, it's done by a company called Viper TV, and it's called Anunnaki Giant Slab Discovered Revealing Noah, Gilgamesh, etc. So have a look for it. Please watch it. This is the only people I've seen that's actually got the same information as me. So which means they've come to the same conclusions as me, which is absolutely fantastic for me. Now, I know it was released in April 22. And obviously, I've been doing my lives a lot longer than that, so I'm hoping they haven't copied me. But either way, they obviously agree with what I've said. The only thing they have got, I think, wrong is where they say Jesus' father was Enki. I don't think that's the case. Enki was already very old, 10,000 years ago. They do, in the video, it does jump time zones a bit. You know, they're talking about one thing, then they don't tell you that they're now talking about something that's happened 10,000 years later, but still excellent. Do you know someone that believes the world is flat or even round? Well, now you can buy these novelty books which actually has questions in it that they can't answer. The books are designed for you to buy for someone else, and they will have to try and answer the question. So basically, they're going to struggle if they believe the world is flat, because there's questions in here that they won't be able to answer. But the same goes for the world is round. So there's 2 books that you can buy on Amazon, and you can watch their face when they're trying to explain the answers to some of these questions. Give the gift that keeps on giving when you watch their face as they try and answer some of these questions. So all you have to do is type in "the world's gone flat" or "the world's gone round" on Amazon or all good bookstores.